In the past couple days, there has been so much talk of Superman online, and I'm not sure why. I felt compelled to weigh in on the subject, considering that's where my expertise lies. Superman is not only the Man of Steel because of his physical strength and near invulnerability. The Man of Steel also refers to his mental fortitude, his mental strength that can face any situation with logic and strategy rather than emotion. It's not so much that he's the Man of Steel because he's very strong, it's that he's unwavering in his mental stamina. No matter what trials and tribulations he goes through, he does not let his emotions cloud his judgment or determine his actions. It takes a Superman to practice this sort of mental fortitude where no matter what villains try to obstruct your life or whatever may be thrown in your path, you still have the clarity to step back and say, how should I properly address this? What is the best move here? What should I do? What action should I take that doesn't immediately give in to my feelings? Emotions will cloud your judgment worse than any other force in the world. So you must rise above them. You must think above them. You cannot determine the circumstances of your life based on how you feel at the time, because feelings like that are so fleeting that they do not provide a substantial foundation for you to build a life on top of, especially if you plan on becoming a Superman. And now I'm going to refer to this in a future video, and I'm going to really break this down, but Superman, the Superman, and a Superman refer to entirely different things. If you want to be a Superman, you need to imitate the Superman. So, since Superman is the Man of Steel and shows that through his mental fortitude, then that is the foremost skill that needs to be imitated when practicing to be him. See, people always want to talk about relatability. Oh, I need to relate to the Superman. No, not the case. Not necessarily. It's not so that you need to relate to him, but you will relate to him once you start to follow his path. Now, aspiration is what we truly look for in a hero, what we truly look for in the character. It's aspiration that will lead to relatability. I discussed this briefly in Forging the Path, The Aquaman Follows the Superman, which you'll find on my channel. And I'm going to discuss it again when we get to Cyborg Follows the Superman, and then every Justice Leaguer after that. Once you start to imitate his example and follow his actions, you will start to relate to him because you will run into the same problems along the way. Now, aspiration is the key factor here. Relatability is simply a derivative of aspiration. If we completely and totally relate to the Superman, then there's going to be no need to try and be like him. There's going to be no need to try and follow his example, because we'll already be there. The Superman must be at a level above us so that we can work towards that. And it is the work in the process that's what's going to be relatable. The problems we'll run into, the villains we'll face, the obstacles we will overcome, that is how we will relate to the Superman. Now, we can go on all day about where Superman gets those examples from or what sort of heroes he follows, but I've discussed this in The Brilliance of BVS in the Book of Luke. I've discussed this in Understanding Superman 2, The Man of Many Messiahs. I suggest you check those videos out. But what we really need to take from the Superman in order to better our own lives is that mental fortitude, that steel trap where the name Man of Steel truly originates. You know, its actual origination may have been due to his physical strength, but the true spiritual origination of the name the Man of Steel is due to his mental fortitude. Imagine this. Imagine a Superman that wasn't in control of his emotions. That would be the most dangerous being in all the universe. If Superman acted how he felt, then he would and could very easily destroy everything around us. He must not let his anger, his sadness, his contentment, his resentment, whatever it may be, he must not let that determine his actions. You know what? Even happiness, not just the bad emotions, happiness as well, cannot determine his actions, because, you know, if I was in his position, it wouldn't make me very happy to fight Batman and then 30 minutes later fight Doomsday. It wouldn't make me happy, but that's the necessity of what needs to be done. The necessity of what needs to be done negates any emotions Superman may be feeling, because it is his duty to be that hero. It's his duty because he chooses to take that on regardless of how he feels about said duty. This is the type of lesson that we will explore on Modern Saviors throughout the future. In the future, we will learn how to be Supermen ourselves. We will learn how to navigate the evils of the world. We will learn how to negate the feelings that try to overwhelm our decision making. So, there's no better example of this than throughout Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. Superman faces all sorts of trials and tribulations throughout that saga, but he doesn't ever let his anger overcome him. He doesn't ever let his emotions determine what he'll do. Whether Lex is threatening to burn his mother alive, whether Batman is threatening to kill him, or even if his father is about to die, he knows that the sadness that will result of that is inferior to the necessity of his father's duty to make that self-sacrificial move. We'll talk about this soon come Father's Day. However, there's no better example of it anywhere in Superman media than in Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. Superman's mental fortitude is unwavering in its devotion to the betterment of others and the advancement of being.